You have been tested, West. You have been tried. You have gone through fire. But you are and always will be surrounded by an abundance of love. You saw it in the voices on those videos. You see it in the firefighters and first responders who are here. All across America, people are praying for you and thinking of you. And when they see the faces of those families, they understand that these are not strangers, these are neighbors. And that's why we know that we will get through this. God bless West. May God grant His peace on those that we've lost, His comfort to their families. May He continue to bless this great state of Texas, and may He continue to bless these United States of America. One Psalm 66:10-12. Some portions unstated. Barack Obama. Commencement address at West Point Military Academy. Delivered May 22, 2010, Mickey Stadium, West Point, New York. Good morning. It is wonderful to be back at the United States Military Academy, the oldest continuously. Occupied military post in America as we commission the newest officers in the United States Army. Thank you, General Hagenbeck, for your introduction. On a day that holds special meaning for you and the Dean, General Finnegan. Both of you first came to West Point in the class of 1971 and went on to inspire soldiers under your command. You've led this academy to a well-deserved recognition, best college in America. and today, you're both looking forward to a well-deserved retirement from the Army. General Hagenbeck and Judy, General Finnegan, and Joan. We thank you for 39 years of remarkable service to the Army and to America. To the Commandant, General Rapp, the Academy staff and faculty, most of whom are veterans. Thank you for your service and for inspiring these cadets to become the leaders of character they are today. Let me also acknowledge the presence of General Shinseki, Secretary McHugh. The members of Congress who are with us here today, including 2 former soldiers this Academy knows well. Senator Jack Reed and Congressman Patrick Murphy. To all the families here, especially all the moms and dads, this day is a tribute to you as well. The decision to come to West Point was made by your sons and daughters. But it was you who instilled in them a spirit of service that has led them to this hallowed place in a time of war. So on behalf of the American people, thank you for your example and thank you for your patriotism. To the United States Corps of Cadets, and most of all, the class of 2010, it is a singular honor to serve as your Commander-in-Chief. As your superintendent indicated, under our constitutional system my power as president is wisely limited. But there are some areas where my power is absolute. And so, as your Commander-in-Chief, I hereby absolve all cadets who are on restriction for minor conduct offenses. I will leave the definition of minor to those who know better. Class of 2010, today is your day, a day to celebrate all that you've achieved. In the finest tradition of the soldier scholar, and to look forward to the important service that lies ahead. You have pushed yourself through the agony of beast barracks, the weeks of training in rain and mud. And, I'm told, more inspections and drills than perhaps any class before you. Along the way, I'm sure you faced a few moments when you asked yourself, what am I doing here? I have those moments sometimes. You've trained for the complexities of today's missions. Knowing that success will be measured not merely by performance on the battlefield. But also by your understanding of the cultures and traditions and languages in the place where you serve. You've reached out across borders, with more international experience than any class in academy history. You've not only attended foreign academies to forge new friendships. You've welcomed into your ranks cadets from nearly a dozen countries. You've challenged yourself intellectually in the sciences and the humanities, in history and technology. You've achieved a standard of academic excellence that is without question. Tying the record for the most postgraduate scholarships of any class in West Point history. This includes your number 1 overall cadet and your valedictorian Lisbeth Erbeid and Alex Rosenberg. And by the way, this is the first time in Academy history. Where your 2 top awards have been earned by female candidates. This underscores a fact that I've seen in the faces of our troops from Baghdad to Bagram in the 21st century. Our women in uniform play an indispensable role in our national defense. And time and again, they have proven themselves to be role models for our daughters and our sons as students and as soldiers and as leaders in the United States Armed Forces. And the faces in this stadium show a simple truth. America's Army represents the full breadth of America's experience. You come from every corner of our country, from privilege and from poverty, from cities and small towns. You worship all of the great religions that enrich the life of our people. You include the vast diversity of race and ethnicity that is fundamental to our nation's strength. There is, however, one thing that sets you apart. Here in these quiet hills, you've come together to prepare for the most difficult test of our time. You signed up knowing your service would send you into harm's way. And you did so long after the first drums of war were sounded. In you we see the commitment of our country, and timeless virtues that have served our nation well. We see your sense of duty, including those who have earned their right shoulder patch, their right shoulder combat patches. Like the soldier who suffered a grenade wound in Iraq. Yet still helped his fellow soldiers to evacuate, your first captain of the Corps of Cadets, Tyler Gordy. We see your sense of honor in your respect for tradition. Knowing that you join a long gray line that stretches through the centuries, and in your reverence for each other. As when the Corps stands in silence every time a former cadet makes the ultimate sacrifice for our nation. Indeed, today we honor the 78 graduates of this academy who have given their lives for our freedom and our security in Iraq and Afghanistan. And we see your love of country, a devotion to America captured in the motto you chose as a class. A motto which will guide your lives of service, loyal till the end. Duty. Honor. Love of country. Everything you have learned here, all that you've achieved here. Has prepared you for today when you raise your right hand, when you take that oath, when your loved one or mentor pins those gold bars on your shoulders. When you become, at long last, commissioned officers in the United States Army. This is the 9th consecutive commencement that has taken place at West Point with our nation at war. This time of war began in Afghanistan, a place that may seem as far away from this peaceful bend in the Hudson River as anywhere on earth. The war began only because our own cities and civilians were attacked by violent extremists who plotted from a distant place. And it continues only because that plotting persists to this day. For many years, our focus was on Iraq. And year after year, our troops faced a set of challenges there that were as daunting as they were complex. A lesser army might have seen its spirit broken. But the American military is more resilient than that. Our troops adapted, they persisted, they partnered with coalition and Iraqi counterparts. And through their competence and creativity and courage, we are poised to end our combat mission in Iraq this summer. Even as we transition to an Iraqi lead and bring our troops home, our commitment to the Iraqi people endures. We will continue to advise and assist Iraqi security forces who are already responsible for security in most of the country. And a strong American civilian presence will help Iraqis forge political and economic progress. This will not be a simple task, but this is what success looks like. An Iraq that provides no haven to terrorists, a democratic Iraq that is sovereign and stable and self-reliant. And as we end the war in Iraq, though, we are pressing forward in Afghanistan. Six months ago, I came to West Point to announce a new strategy for Afghanistan and Pakistan. And I stand here humbled by the knowledge that many of you will soon be serving in harm's way. I assure you, you will go with the full support of a proud and grateful nation. We face a tough fight in Afghanistan. Any insurgency that is confronted with a direct challenge will turn to new tactics. And from Marja to Kandahar, that is what the Taliban has done through assassination and indiscriminate killing and intimidation. Moreover, any country that has known decades of war will be tested in finding political solutions to its problems. And providing governance that can sustain progress and serve the needs of its people. So this war has changed over the last 9 years. But it's no less important than it was in those days after September 11th. We toppled the Taliban regime, now we must break the momentum of a Taliban insurgency and train Afghan security forces. We have supported the election of a sovereign government, now we must strengthen its capacities. We brought hope to the Afghan people, now we must see that their country does not fall prey to our common enemies. Cadets, there will be difficult days ahead. We will adapt, we will persist, and I have no doubt that together with our Afghan and international partners, we will succeed in Afghanistan.